Hi, I'm Taralyn Farrell. I'm with Coldwell Banker Advantage, and I have Sam Wylie here with ReDefine Home Design.
Hi, Taralyn.
Hi, Sam.
So
How are
nice
you?
to see you again.
You too. It's great to
Thanks
see you.
for having me.
Oh, thanks for coming.
This is a lot of fun.
Thank you. You've helped me so much with my clients this past 8 months. It's been a game changer meeting you. So I wanted to ask you a few questions and see if we could share your knowledge with others, what you know about staging.
Absolutely, I would love to.
Okay.
Go ahead, shoot.
All right. Well, I guess the first question I get is, it's a seller's market right now. Homes are flying off the shelves very quickly, multiple offers. So why should the seller put in, the effort to stage their home?
The home seller needs to put their best foot forward, even in this crazy market. A lot of resale homes they're outdated. The floors need to be sanded or even replaced or refinished. The light fixtures all need to change. So before they know it, they've got over $10,000 in edits to their home just to get it ready to go on market. But this is the big one. This is the big thing. They don't need to do any of that.
They don't need to redo their floors.
Not if they're paying us to come in and stage it. Mm-hmm. Because what the staging does is it takes those eyesores, the attention of them kind of goes into the background when there's beautiful furniture in the home that just so happens to go with the floors and the light fixtures without being outdated. Right. And when, we use rugs and lamps, and a lot like what you see here is what we do. The furniture is to scale in the house that we use. And so, as you know, buying a home, we think it's, we want 4 bedrooms and the master down, and we need a bonus room upstairs. And it's very analytical in the beginning, and then something happens. People walk through the door in a home that's been staged, and it is to the nines. It's nice, it's cohesive, it feels warm, just the right balance of color, just the right balance of texture, and we're showing people how to arrange the furniture. The National Association of Realtors says that 9 out of 10 people cannot imagine where to put their things in a vacant home.
Right. Yeah, I believe that.
And so even if a home is occupied and you say, Sam, come on in and stage this house that's occupied, we do that too. Okay. And if they have good furniture, we're like, we'll use your furniture. But we need to bring in artwork and accessories to make it nice and cohesive. So that analytical decision has now become emotional. It becomes an emotional decision when they walk through that door. Right? It's like so now it's like, I don't care that this house doesn't have a master down. Right. The master's up, but I love this house. And a lot of it has to do with it being staged. So that's why even today in this crazy market, realtors still need to be staging their homes. If they want it to compete with the other homes, of course there's very low inventory right now. We do know that. But if you want the most out of your home, then you're gonna spend a couple $1,000s to get back, like you said, at a minimum 10 or more.
Yeah. All right. And how do you work it when someone does have their furniture and is already feels their house is presentable, and but they're presenting it the way they live in it, not necessarily the way a buyer might see it. So how do you tread lightly and talk with homeowners? And
God, that's a good question too, because that's like a fine line there. So as you know, realtors reach out to us and they say, Sam, we need you guys to set up a staging consultation. That's the first thing that needs to happen. And the agent always pays for that. It's $150. They say this is the best $150 I've ever spent in my transaction, because what we do is we take you out, the agent, we take you out of the equation. So you're just there to support your client. And we come in and very nicely give them very direct advice.
Okay.
So it's
Constructive.
very constructive. Like, I'm not doing my job if I come in and go, oh, the house looks so great. You know, like, I need to say, all right, here is the deal right away. I walk in and I smell cat pee. We cannot sell this house if it smells like cat pee. So this is what we need to do. That's what the agent's paying me to do. Like, they don't want to go to their client, your house smells like cat pee, right? Like, so, and another thing too is when agents bring us in to do that, there's something that happens with the seller. They're more likely, what we see historically is the sellers are more likely to do that to-do list if the third party comes in and says, this is what you need to do, than if you were to say it.
Right. Yeah, I feel like they get a little overwhelmed sometimes when they see the list, and then they get excited when they start checking off the list.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, I did all this. I'm like, oh,
Yes.
I didn't think you were, I thought you were against that. But,
Right.
you know, a lot of times
So
when you're
there's
saying
something
it,
that
they don't
happens.
like it, but then, yeah, something happens.
Yeah. So it starts there. And a lot of sellers are super resistant, even though they want to sell their house. They want to get into that new house. They want to move on. They are emotionally attached to that home. So it's tough. Like, we got to come in, we got to give them some hard truths. But that's our job. And we usually walk away with them saying, all right, when are you going to stage my house?
Right. And they love it.
And they love it. So, you know, after the staging consultation, we review and say, I'll look at a home and I'll say, you know, if the furniture is like, the scale is off and it's, you know, dogs have ripped it and it just doesn't look right in the room and the furniture's just not, it's old, it's outdated, then I'll suggest a vacant staging.
Okay. Have them move out first.
And they don't
Or
necessarily have to move out.
Okay.
We would like that if they moved out, especially when we're bringing in our couches and our soft goods, because if they have pets, we don't want dog hair on our furniture. We have to reuse the stuff, but not everybody can move out, and not everybody has pets. And the people that have pets, they can go, they have a friend take care of the houses are selling so fast, as you know, right?
It's just a weekend or so. Yeah.
So a lot of times they do move out, a lot of times they don't have to. But having us bring in all of our furniture, at least on the lower level of the home, is so important, because when I plan a home to be staged, a vacant home, bringing in all of my inventory, my furniture, accessories, artwork, I know it all goes together, right? I'm putting it all together, I'm planning it all out, and we load up at my warehouse and we go stage the house. It can be very difficult when we do occupied stagings at times, even though we do those, because sometimes people are like, well, my dining room is fine. Can we just get away without staging the dining room and you could bring in your living room? Well, it may be like this traditional old dining room. They think it's great, but it doesn't go with everything else. And so the point I have to drive home to sellers is, listen, you're defeating the purpose here. So we want this home to be nice and cohesive. So when people walk in through this door, they're like, oh my God, I love it. Instead of going, I don't like that dining room table, but I like everything else. Yeah. And then there's occupied stagings where if people have an amazing stuff, we'll use it.
Okay.
But we'll bring in artwork and accessories. Sometimes a very small percentage of people will have awesome stuff. They'll have great artwork, they'll have great accessories, they have great furniture, but it's in all the wrong places. So we'll rearrange all that. And so we do that as well. And there's tiers. You know, the vacant stagings tend to be the most expensive, but you know, we have a minimum of $1,500 to stage a house, and that covers the heart of the home, which is like what you see here.
So that would include the living room, dining room?
Living room, dining room, kitchen.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and then it can go up from there depending upon, a lot of times we like to do the master because that's a really important room for people. And then it just kind of, based on the service we provide, it kind of will go down. The price goes down from there.